Hi, I'm Matt and NotEnoughTech is back. Quite happy and relief because after 10 days I managed to restore everything on my own. Sadly, I had no support from GoDaddy whatsoever, which is disappointing as I paid for the service. The backups were gone and the website actually still not working, even though it's been like nearly, 20 days. So, what happened? I don't know what happened and why I've lost the backups. I know I had to deal with it on my own. So promptly I've, thanks to previous suggestions of Joao, I've created a new server on Google Cloud, and this is where the website is currently hosted. It took me a few days to figure out, and I wish I've not migrated the service straight away, because I would have no problem at all. Once the website went down, I've reported this to GoDaddy. I've reported the loss of daily backups, which I pay for, to GoDaddy as well. And for the first 3 days I had no resolution whatsoever. After 3 days I've contacted them, I had no resolution whatsoever. They only said that they're gonna put me on the priority queue. And after a couple of days later I received an email saying like, yeah, we know your backups are gone. And that's it. The website has not been addressed, and as far as I'm concerned the website's still down, and this is something I'm gonna be trying to get sorted now with GoDaddy, terminate my contract and maybe get some compensation for it. Now, in terms of what happened to the website and how I managed to restore it, there was a bit of the work involved actually, because for several days I've been trying to move the files. All the plugins and backup solutions, they weren't just working. I've tried manual as well, I've tried duplicator plugin, I've tried all-in-one WP migration. None of that was working off the shelf. So after trying several different configurations, I figured that I'm gonna start uploading, because I still had access to the my server via FileZilla that was working. So I was trying to downloaded everything onto my hard drive, and I've recovered access to the admin in the WordPress admin. The website wasn't working at the time, but I was able to log in and to try a few things. So it turned out that I was able to download a very bare bone database. So that's PHP file, stripped from comments, stripped from everything, just necessary things to make the post working. So all the posts, all the ads, and that's it, just that. So I managed to download this, and I wasn't able to upload it until I've made a secondary backup with all-in-one migration plugin, just the database, nothing else. I was just a couple of megs, and I was able to push the database into a new server. This means that everything was all over, because I didn't have any themes or anything set up, but I had that database, and I did not face the possibility of writing my posts again, like copy and pasting basically manually from one site to another. That will be a nightmare, because I've got like 250 posts by now, or even more. So that was the first step when I actually started to feel slightly victorious. Second thing that happened was I slowly started to restore everything. I started with uploading the content folder, so this is where all the uploads are, all the pictures, etc. And that started to slowly link into a place, and I was able to actually browse the website itself. Then I've added some couple of plugins and my themes as well, just through FileZilla upload, because nothing else was working. So I did that folder by folder just to make sure I have no problems within the folder itself, because I didn't want to create the same problem if the problem was in the files. So that started to work, and I ended up with the IP address instead of my domain. The domain was still pointing to not working website. It actually took me a while to figure out why I had problems. I've contacted Google support that promptly instructed me how to update a record for my domain, which I did. However, after the propagation time, which is 48 hours, nothing has happened. A little bit desperate, I started to look into this, and it was not until I contacted the Enum itself, which is the domain provider, that was able to walk me through a solution to this problem. It turns out that the config I had on my enum configuration was okay with GoDaddy, but for some reason wasn't playing nice with Google Cloud, and I needed to basically delete several IP addresses and restore a record, and that started to work straight away, and that's how NotEnoughTech was restored. Now it took extra 2 days actually just to test things out before I went public with the domain and everything, because I wanted to make sure that I won't have any problems, and I wanted to figure out a backup solution as well, because right now everything is on me, and there is no support. I run everything. I'm responsible for daily backups. Like, I have no support whatsoever. Google is my support right now. So the dedicated server is faster. It has a dedicated CPU and dedicated RAM, because it runs on virtual machine, and it's expandable, so at any given time I can just increase the capacity of the server bandwidth, and you should not have any downtime. Hopefully, if Joao's website is working well and he's using similar setups to mine, I should be just fine as well. It is slightly more expensive, which is fine, but I'm quite happy to pay that extra, providing I have no problems with the website whatsoever. So everything has been restored now. I think I have most of the plugins enabled as well. I have a couple of plugins that I've disabled, but there should be no problems with reading the website at all. So if you spot something's not working, do let me know, so I would look into it and see whether I need to enable additional plugin or I need to find a short workaround for the issue. But trouble with NotEnoughTech is over, and I'm quite happy to have the website working again. You would not believe what a week I had, what 10 days I had. It was like literally a lot of things happened at the same time. I had some last minute decoration, refurbishment basically to be done. I had friends coming over at the same time, something I scheduled a year later. This is how busy I get. I had the problems in my regular job, and I had this, which I was basically trying to fix in my spare time as well. So I had a lot of nights I spent not sleeping and trying to work on it and figure out what the heck is going on. So as you can see, I'm quite happy. It's been a couple of days. I've made 2 posts since, and for now it's okay. In terms of what 10-day downtime does to your website, I'll show you a nice graph in here so you can see. The recovery is quite good. I'm quite surprised. I was expecting to get up to 50% of readership loss, which didn't happen. It's actually slowly rebuilding that views, so it's a bit of a dip in terms of website ranking as well, which is a bit of shame, because I was working very hard to get my website ranked and get exposed better by Google. But that's the fallout of the 10-day downtime. So right now, I hope this is the last post like this I get to make, and I won't have to talk you through in terms of recovery. Now, any pointers? If you like, first of all, back up your backup and store it locally. And if you have a migration in time, because for some reason, then basically the migration was because each time I would have a fairly popular post that would reach about 50 to 60% of my bandwidth with GoDaddy. GoDaddy would flop. It would just destroy my server for some reasons, and I would have to give them a call, and the only resolution they had really is just to recover it from backup, which would be 24 hours later, and sometimes that destroys 2 or 3 posts depending on the day, and that sucks. And yeah, that's why I started to think about migration. And if you're ever gonna do that, just go straight away, don't wait, because if you suspect something might be going wrong, the last thing you want to do is just wait too long, like I have. So that was the biggest mistake I've made. And it's in terms of moving and cloning a website, do it bit by bit. Start with a database, because this is your most important bit, and optimize the database, delete the unnecessary tables, and then I've used all-in-one WP migration. I need to look it up. Plugin to export only database, which was a couple of megs, and then upload it again. and that worked for me, as the manual upload of the database didn't work for me. I actually couldn't manually install the database. Well, I could, but it returned with a server being broken. So I don't know what exactly was the problem, but I managed to bypass it with that plugin, so thank you for that. And then just rebuild the website folder by folder. On the positive side, I'm going to be playing with SSL certification, and the website's going to be HTTPS soon, so that's going to be fun. I hope I'm not going to destroy anything. Right, I think I can finish this story of not enough trouble. I hope I had enough trouble, so hopefully I'll have enough peace right now and I don't have to do anything like that anytime soon. Right, I guess that's enough for the post updates, and I hope you're gonna enjoy my new content, and some things are coming up which I'm gonna talk soon. And you see this happy face? This is happy face because the cool things are coming. Right, thanks so much for watching, guys, and see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.